What's up, everybody? Today, I'm gonna play a game that I really don't want to play, but I decided maybe I should just grow up and try to play this game. It's called Us Lovely Corpses. It's a visual novel game, I think, and apparently it's supposed to be pretty spooky. And I I tried to I don't know. If you know anything about me, I really hate scary shit. Unless it's like Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube or like Resident Evil 4 or I don't know. This cuz okay, maybe it's better if I show you. Anyway, let's go to the options menu first. It looks like pretty simple Ren'Py stuff. The way these are actually sliders. They're not I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're sliders, but yeah, the way they work is just it kind of at first I thought the rose was what was controlling it, so I thought it was like stylized in a certain way, but it's just a color slider. Anyway, I'm gonna try to let's return the man. I'm gonna try to record this. I'm gonna try to play it, and if I get a little too creeped out, and if a lot of like weird shit starts happening, because well, if I click start, so it says this warning. It says this game contains mature and intense themes and is not recommended for players who are under 16 or those who are easily disturbed. And an in-depth list of content warnings is available, and you go to see it, right? It says the same thing, but it also says this game contains themes of... Oh yeah, it has all this stuff here, right? But this author's note number 2 kind of... yeah. The monster knows that you are here. It will do its best to make you leave. As such, the game will occasionally do startling and unexpected things. Fuck that shit. I swear to God, if pop-ups start coming up and my PC starts acting weird, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna stop playing the game. That's I don't like this. I'm not prepared. But I also am... Oh, God, this is a terrible idea. Why am I playing this? I tweeted out, actually. I tweeted out that I wasn't going to play this game, but I wanted to share it because it looked kind of cool. But... Oh, fuck. Why am I doing this? Okay. As far as anyone could tell, the Flores family... What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? Am I fucking crazy? Oh my God, I don't like this. I don't like this! Spookity dookity. Wait. Oh, I am on speakers. Wait, okay. Fuck. As far as anyone could tell, the Flores family had not committed any mortal sin. There's music. Alright, let's go to preferences. There we go. The music is better now. No fairy complained of improper etiquette. No witch reported anything missing from the garden. By the way, if it sounds like I'm really far from the mic, I am, because I don't like jump scares and I don't like this game. This game is... Why am I playing this? Oh God. No witch reported anything missing from the garden. No one has ever been insulted, injured, or otherwise aggrieved. Fuck this shit. But that didn't stop the monster from showing up for their daughter one day. It was quite painless. Quiet, painless, and swift. The monster left nothing but a mark on the girl and a promise to hang over her head. I will return for you one day. I will return for you one day, little miss. The monster's a fucking rose. What the shit? Okay. I will not take your life, nor will I harm your body. Okay. Oh! But I will never leave you. Oh, fuck this shit. Okay. Alright, okay. Dang, I just got here in time. It's really starting to come down hard. Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer so that maybe people can actually hear me for once. Okay. Oh, God. Whoever created this game, you're crazy. You're a crazy person. I haven't even gotten 5 seconds in the game and I already... Oh, this is the worst idea I've ever had. As I do my best to outrun the splatter of raindrops on the pavement, the familiar shock of pink walls emerges from behind the treetops. It feels A bit like being greeted by a friend. Graded? Oh. The Flores house is an old money house. I mean, it's clearly a money house, at least. Anyone could puzzle out that a place this size has come with a serious price tag. It's really classy, too, with a porch and pillars and everything. Victorian, I think. Gothic revival? Look, I'm a witch, not a real estate agent. My point is, it's a really nice house. Even with all the creepy death vines and the monster in the attic. What? Alex and Alejandra de Rose. Well, let's clock in. Knock, knock, knock. The Flores family always has at least 2 housekeepers employed. Oh, this is such a terrible idea. If I pee myself on stream, I will let you know. But they've got a bad record of vis-a-vis keeping them around for a long... What? As such, it's not surprised to see an unfamiliar face open the door. Oh, thank God, says Betty. You're the De Rosa girl, right? The assistant? Hey, let's save the game. Hopefully nothing fucking weird happens. They told me about you. Where's the witch? Well, you're looking at her. The witch that I work for, she's my grandma, and she's preoccupied with other business today. So this is my first solo job. Betty, the housekeeper's eyes casually twitches. You're the witch? How old are you? 18? 19? Is that a problem? No, not at all. It's completely fine. Why on earth should I be worried? Just because I woke up to a real-life horror movie this morning? Just because half the house has been taken over by those horrible things? Just because I'm working... Oh, God. What the fuck is this? Just because I've been working in this house for a week and out of nowhere a little monster appeared and abducted my employer's daughter and God knows what's happening to her and God knows what'll happen to me. But no! What? It's fine. Why not send a child to help us? A child on our first solo job. Sure, why not? Wouldn't want to break the streak we got going today. After all, I just love being shunted to a nightmare world where logic is gone and murderous vines have replaced it. I love hearing my superior respond, a rose whispered to me about dead animals with, oh, that's normal. I love terror. I can't wait for Satan to jump in my ass and... Never mind, this game's funny. I swear to God, whatever might still be up there, if one more thing happens under this roof, I'm going to... Betty. Andrea puts her hand on the woman's shoulder, and within an instant, she's quiet and pale. Take a deep breath. A monster. A literal monster. I thought everyone was being sarcastic. I know, hon. Why don't you go sit down there for a while? This was supposed to be extra money for the boat. Betty staggers like a fawn over to the nearby chair. After a moment, she drops into it bonelessly. I hear a faint noise like a boat drift down the hall. Is there supposed to be music? Because I'm not hearing it. Hey, sorry about, all that. Hey, don't sweat it. Is there actually supposed to be music, or am I... There's, like, a little bit of ambience, but I can't hear anything. I love being casually insulted to my face. I love when people don't take me seriously because of my age. It's super great. Be nice, she's a newbie. Thought all the talk about the Flores monster was a joke, huh? She's not the first. Andre is the one keeping the house who's stuck around the Flores family the longest, so all of this is old hat to her. She's probably more annoyed by Betty's theatrics than the monster kidnapping her wand, but she's too soft-hearted to tell the other woman to get a grip. I guess in a way we're co-workers, but more than anything we're friends. So how have you been? Oh, you know, same as usual. Exhausted. Wait, who the hell is that talking? Aren't we all? So what are we looking at? A typical case? Vines have taken over the attic and the second floor completely. Most affected areas were all the usual ones. Office, bathroom, reading room, her bedroom too. The Mr. and Mrs. gone since Monday. They are on a trip to South Padre. We haven't actually told them yet. And Marisol and you-know-who, they're in the usual place? Yep. Righto! Well, if that's everything, I think I'll get to work. No point in putting it off any longer. You're sure you'll be okay on your own? Andre, remember what I said literally 2 minutes ago about people not taking me seriously? Alex, it's not about your age. It'll be your first time doing this alone, and you know how those roses can get. You know how. You know how the monster can get. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. But Marisol is my friend. And who's gonna help her if it's not me? I mean, there are other witches in the area. No. I want to do this. And if I screw up and she dies, it's fine. Well, the monster said she wouldn't kill her, so... I don't know. But for every princess captured by ferocious beasts, there's gonna be a dashy knight, you know? Dashy knight? What happened to being a witch? I'm a woman of many talents. It's under the door. Okay, it's the monster. It's a rose. We followed her pointer finger to the end of the hall at the door that leads to the staircase. This hallway is the unofficial safe zone of the house. The roses never come in here, at least. Me and Layla have always arrived before they started invading, but now it slinks and twitches its way across the floor. The petals begin to fan out. Do something! Stay back. With a quick flap of latches, I open my briefcase. Layla's trimmers fit comfortably into the palm of my hand. Alright, let's... And abruptly, it's face to face with me. Okay. And the rose, as roses tend to do, opens its mouth. The monster says, another day, another corpse waiting to happen. You've come here so many times, swaggering in the face of death. Should one applaud your bravado, your brainlessness? For your information, but now you walk here and here, alone. A girl turned into a young lady before all our eyes. Surely you know it'll only get harder from here on out. This is your warning. You should leave this place and never look back. No! I mean, I'm not leaving until I help Marisol, and not until I get rid of you. What? That's it? You don't want to do more of this? I thought you loved your formula. Why do you suddenly want to skip all the foreplay? Alex. I pause. But why is she talking to the rose? Did it eat her? No, it's letting her talk. It does this all the time. Marisol, listen, just hang tight. I'm gonna be heading up pretty soon. Alejandro, listen to me. Do not come up here. Tell Andrea that she and the others are Tell Andrea that she and the other one are fired. I want you all to get out of this house right now and never come back. Mari, I don't know what's making you say this, but it's not making me say anything, Alex. I'm telling you of my own free will to go. Marisol, you know I have to. No, I'm telling you. I'm giving you permission to leave. Do you really think I'm just gonna let you die? The hall is silent. Marisol, you know what will happen if it stays too long. Leaving you like this is just as good as killing you. The petals of the rose gently retract and expand. It almost looks like a beating heart. Fine by me. Huh? Snake. It takes barely a flick of my wrist to drop the tendril on the floor. The rose's teeth are still now, but hidden under its petals, I lift up gently and place my briefcase. The rest of the vine is already dissolving into ash. The door opens without resistance. In the living room, the kitchen, I can see a couple of wayward vines have started to creep in, but nonetheless, with roses. They'll dissolve on their own once the monster leaves. I have bigger problems to worry about upstairs. Holler if you need anything. For God's sake, be careful. Hey, let's save our game. The stairs creak familiar under my feet. You should have listened to her. The voice is too familiar too. It never stops unnerving, hearing it come out of multiple throats. What is it about you and the word no, little witch? You realize you don't have your grandmother's shadow to hide anymore, don't you? That was probably the one kindness that girl has ever given you, and you threw it away. You think that's the only time Marisol has been nice to me? For a guy who's been bugging a girl her entire life, you don't know a damn thing about her. Its voice goes silent a moment. You'd probably think that sassing it would just be asking for trouble, but believe it or not, it helps. There won't be anything standing between us when you come to the attic. My thorns will open your pretty skin and leave you nothing but a heap of twitching flesh. You'll feel the agony of 1,000 deaths before you die. Cool. Hey, hold still. I cover roses, and I like the main character a lot. She's very sassy. I cut the roses and ascend the stairs, catching one and depositing them into my briefcase, but the last one makes me pause at the top of the staircase. What's this you got in your teeth? It's a page of notebook, wrinkled and crisp from age of numerous foldings, familiar. Okay, it says, I feel like I need to write this down. It says, pink is affection. It says, dark pink is gratitude. Blue is an impossible dream. It says, okay, there's kind of an important one near yellow. It says yellow is friendship and jealousy. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy, so I sound kind of gross. This one's important, apparently. And it says too many is dangerous on there. It says red is passion, but it's crossed out and it says anger. It says black is death. And it says white is danger, never listen. Oh, sorry, it says lavender first. Lavender, love at first sight. And then white is the one we should be really careful of. Danger, never listen. Okay. I'll star that one too. Oh, geez, where'd you find this? My nervous handwriting, a ghost of a hand scribbling in a frantic attempt to keep up with my grandmother's instructions. My frankly embarrassing spelling at lavender. When I was 13, I thought about comforting Marisol's monster would be my greatest accomplishment as a witch. I wasn't exactly sure if we'd make it back alive, but despite Layla's constant reassurances, I wonder what my younger self would think of me now, having climbed these stairs more times than I can count. My greatest accomplishment now, a regular house visit. Okay, so it sounds like she's been to this house multiple times, and she's probably interacted with the monster a couple times as well. You don't have that woman with you anymore. It would be sporting if I didn't allow you extra help. Awesome, thanks. I snipped the rose with a little more force than necessary. So the attic, huh? The attic has a pull-down staircase. It's covered it with vines, but those are actually the least of my worries right now. The hatch has locks, 3 to be precise, and they all look pretty secure. Hey, Bucko, where are the keys? It doesn't reply. In 6 years of doing this, it has never once given us the keys when we ask. Somehow, it's become routine, and routine has historically been pretty comforting. But the routine typically follows with the monster explaining where the keys are, a grandiose villain speech, and if we haven't heard it 1,000 times... As if we haven't heard it 1,000 times. Today, it's silent, not even a single evil chuckle. You're different today. For a monster, you're seriously losing your bite. It says nothing. Layla always says that if there's one thing monsters love, it's their formula. That's why you always come back and hide in the attic with Marisol, and that's why we always go through the same lines. Dastardly fiend, let that poor girl go. Ha ha ha, as if you would. You witches are so pathetic, I'll toy with you some more. Let's play a little game if you can find the 3 keys hidden somewhere on this floor. Something, something, time limit, clues, whatever. But now all of a sudden you're too bored to go through it? Honestly, what's the point of going to save a beautiful princess if we don't get to be a little dramatic about it? You can't save her. Fine, whatever. I need to clean up the roses in the other room anyways. I'll play your little doofy game. Like always, do some gardening. Like always, I'll be back with the keys before you can say Citizen Kane. Witch. Its voice comes from behind the attic door. I'll warn you one more time. This is your final chance to turn back. I shrug and start heading toward the reading room. Oh, there is music. What the hell was that? I follow the vines in the scent of roses. It's a nice smell, but its tendency has become cloying the more time passes. Layla used to get headaches sometimes, but weirdly enough, I seem to be able to endure it better than her. My first stop is the reading room. Andrea had said it was one of the most affected places, and sure enough, I see quite a bit of roses. Let's see, roses first, then we get to look for those keys. It'd be nice to have a reading room, I think. I always kind of envied Marisol for it, even though I usually only see it when I'm being choked with vines. I gently run my finger down one as I look around the room. It's warm to the touch. Alright, who's up first? There's a tall bookcase back to the bin with all kinds. From the topmost shelf starts a single rose. Okay, so that rose is red. That says anger. Prune the rose, it says listen first. A pigeon crushed paper thin on the road. Ugh, I hate how these roses have teeth. It's really creepy. A pigeon crushed paper thin on the road. Wings somehow spared, still spread straining lack dead tendons. They reach for the sun, a pop-up book from hell. Looking at roadkill is like getting a young fish pushed into my heart. It's sad in a way I can't put to words. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. This one is lavender. On the shelf right below it, the books are slightly askew, as if one of their numbers is missing. From a gap sprouts a single lavender rose. The witch had come to battle me many times before, but this was the first time she brought a partner. The girl with the fluffy hair and a permanent smile, no older than my ward. She was frightened to see my face. I could tell that much from her tiny fingers clutching the notebook tight. But even as her grin went tight with the false bravado, I could see the pride in her gaze, watching her grandmother get to work. As I retreat, I threw one last glance over my shoulder. My name is Alex. I'm here to save you. I memorized her face and name, knowing that one day she would become my enemy too, and I outlined her features in mind with animosity. And yet somehow it also felt like fondness. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. The yellow, okay, so this one says too many is dangerous on it. There's a comfortable armchair begging to be curled up with. From the seat sprouts a single yellow rose. It says that there's a single one, so let's just listen to it first. She loved reading. She still loves reading. The beautiful words, the beautiful worlds. It would make her forget for a little while the curse that hangs over her head like a sword. You read so much, said the little witch. Why don't you tell me about the stuff you read? She shook her head, clumsily, tongue faulting, failing, tripping over syllables and second thoughts. It would be a mockery to the lovingly crafted books. Well then, how am I supposed to know why you like them so much? Because they make me forget how much I can't do. They make me forget the person I am in this world. That's so silly. The little witch doubled in laughter. You can do anything as long as you work hard and believe in yourself. It's hard for me too, but I just had to give it a try. I'm sure you could go to school and be happy and normal if you tried a little harder. Because it's that easy. Because she never ever thought of that one before. Because it's so easy for you. I can do it too, even though you're so much better than me and everyone. Except you can see it. In that moment, she wished she had never met the little witch. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. This one is blue. It says an impossible... I forgot what this one. I once read a book about birds. It was a chapter all about cuckoos. Cuckoos, the book said, are gangsters of the animal kingdom. They look for magpies who have recently just laid eggs, take an egg out of the nest, and replace it with one of their own. The magpies are forced to take care of the cuckoo chick, which eats far more than the rest of the little chicks combined, so much so that the other chicks simply starve to death. The books depicted the cuckoo chick as a grotesque monster, half of its body taken up by internally gaping mouths screaming at the poor magpies. I hated that picture. I used to think that cuckoo chicks were the most evil and despicable creatures on earth. But how was it the chick's fault? It never asked to be laid in a nest too small for it. I never asked to have a voice that cried louder and longer than its brethren. It was dropped into the world that had never expected it to exist, but instead of trying to make make the nest bigger or giving its parents enough food for all the chicks. Everyone just blamed it for having a potty that couldn't fit into a nest never asked for. God. Why couldn't he have made me into a magpie? I snip and snip and snip, and slowly the vines begin to dissolve. I wonder if I should have listened to the yellow one. Anyway, some begin to creep away, retreating towards the attic door, and eventually the room is free of roses. Woof! Okay, I guess that's everything. But I wonder, were there any of those keys in here? I scan the room with my eyes and notice a couple books lying on the side table. A dictionary and a bird watcher's field guide. A book about words and a book about birds. I feel like the universe is telling me something important. Should I look at one of these books? I can't save one making choices, I see. I feel like the bird watcher's guide. Is there any bird I should look up? Oh, a cuckoo. Is that how you spell it? Hold on, let me check the spelling real quick. Birds. I feel like I'm forgetting something important about birds. Oh yeah, I saw a picture of a crow with a tiny top hat last night. I have to remember to save it on my animal wearing people's clothes file when I get home. Anyway, where's that key? Huh? What was that about? Should look at one of these books. Is there a bird I'm supposed to be looking up? Like a raven, maybe? How about a crow? Because that's what she just said. How about a raven? Was there something important about birds that I missed? Chick's fault. Cuckoos. Maybe I need to spell it with cuckoos. Cuckoos. Huh? Okay, let's just look at the dictionary. I leafed through the pages and my vocabulary feels so expanded, but seriously, I should focus on finding that key. Is there any bird I should look up? Magic magpie. Oh, magpie! I should look up magpie. I feel the lump of metal before I see it. A familiar bronze key is taped to the page right on the top entry for magpie. 1 out of 3 keys found. It feels like the very... Let's save the game. It feels like the very air of the house shudders. Out of the corner of my eye, I think I see some vines undulating, but nothing happens. Getting a better look at the cluster of vines by the wall, I notice that a lot of them are feeding into a door right off the reading room. Mr. Flores' office. That was another room Andre mentioned, right? I don't really remember what Mr. Flores does. He's a specific doctor of some sort, has a title with a long, complicated name. There's no syringes or anything in his office. It's mostly papers and files. It must be a complicated job. There's a painting on the wall, but it's mostly covered in vines right now, within a smaller space. The smell of roses overpowering. I gotta get going. A pink rose? I returned to her on the gray December afternoon when the air was cold and inviting. I enjoyed the winter, the days of cloud-quilted skies and no sun. Time was passing and her skin grew colder and colder. Would today be the day? But then all of a sudden the room was so warm. I told you we'd be back. She didn't know what to say after I was banished, but the little witch took her hand. She led downstairs, and her grandmother fixed them a drink, thick and creamy, flavored with cinnamon, Horacha, and it warmed her stomach. The little witch asked about the things she... These are all about her, isn't it? She listened to her like she was the most fascinating person in the world. She told her about school and monsters and learning to be a witch. And it warmed her chest. Somehow in another room, her parents and the little witch's grandmother were taking in low, solemn voices. But at that moment, the world was just her kitchen. The kitchen and the little witch and their warm drinks and pale white sky outside. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. This is the single red rose. A kitten's rib cage opened up like a... What the fuck? They're dissecting a cat? Oh, this is terrible. I don't know, I'm just gonna skip all this. A blue rose. This should be okay. Do you know what I see when I look at you? I see a recluse. I'm sorry. The only time you leave your room is when you go to school, and certainly you aren't making any friends there. I'm sorry. I know your condition is hard to deal with, but God, if you just try. I'm trying. Why don't you say anything? Why do you hate me so much? I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. People are talking. They probably think we mistreat you. Why can't you ever think about how this affects us? I'm sorry. Marisol, God, don't cry. I'm only telling you this because I want to help you. We don't know how you're feeling. We only know what we see. And in my eyes, you're the loneliest person I've ever known. And in my eye, that's the best thing I could be. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. Okay, so too many of these is dangerous. So I feel like maybe like one or two will be okay to listen to, but... So let's listen to this one. I used to like it when you told me about your studies. It was so interesting. You always blushed and saying your magic wasn't as cool as the stuff I read about in books. Of course it was. Magic was magic. And your magic would only get more powerful when you got older. You were already so amazing by the time you become an actual witch. I understood. You have so much talent. You're amazing. You're going to be a wonderful witch. I'm not even sure if you're going to be alive in a few years. Maybe the monster will catch me off guard and kill me. Maybe next week. Maybe tomorrow. You have a future. I have a curse. If I was braver, I could have just told you I didn't want to hear about that stuff anymore. But I didn't. Bitterness was so much easier. I'm sorry, Alex. A supportive friend is all I can be. And I'm not even good at that. Snip, snip, snip. The vines curl into ash. The roses retreat. 2 rooms down. Good job, me. Now let's see if there's any keys in here. There's a number of places it could be. For some reason, I feel like looking at the paintings. I also remember the suspicious book being on Mr. Flores' desk. So if there's another yellow rose, I should not look at it. Let's take a look at the paintings. Mr. Flores has the paintings, 3 paintings in his office. It's a painting of a woman lying in a river, a painting of a wheat field, and a portrait he commissioned of Marisol. Let's look at the girl in the river. Oh, that's not creepy at all. Okay, it seems... It makes me feel uneasy for some reason. There's something off about this painting. The flowers? There's rosemary for remembrances. There's pansies for thought. M for murder and waiting for Godot. Billy Crystal. Note to self: joking plus nervousness just equals bad jokes. There's something really off. That seemed lifeless. Too familiar. I don't like it. That's a disturbing picture. Okay, so that was that first one. The field. Oh, I know this. This is a yellow field under dark texture, making it feel pain and moving seems ominous. There's something off about this painting. $49, $42. I'm not the biggest fan of counting crows, but they produce some pretty good numbers. God, there isn't anyone here. I should feel like I should apologize for that. The sky looks like it's getting dark real fast. It looks like a bad omen. Or rain. It could be rain. Wheat? Is it wheat? I thought it might be corn. It looks really tall. If you lay down, nobody would be able to see you. And if one of those big threshers came... anyways. Okay, and then let's look at the painting of Marisol. Marisol! It's a portrait commission from Marisol's 18. It's kind of a weird style compared to other, but at least it's captured Marisol's hair. Her eyes are rather stares directly out of the view. I didn't think her gaze was that intense. Something off about this painting. Just an ordinary eye. Wait, her eyes starting to, or the wall opposite the painting. Hey, there's something on the wall opposite the painting. Oh, how interesting. I smell something like meat. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck this game. This game sucks. The person who made this game, you're on weed or cocaine or meth. I don't like this. Oof. Well, gang, I must say, I am not a fan of anything that's happening in this room. Oh, God. But cleaning the bathroom is always the worst chore, am I right? God, I love this character. She's awesome. She makes me feel so much better. Tough crowd. What do roses not have a sense of humor? The roses. Oh, well, we have a great sense of humor. You just aren't very funny. Okay, great. Awesome. Let's just get to it. Red. I like going on walks with my parents. Those were some of the better lines in the summer. We could see. Oh God, I don't want to read all this. I don't want you wearing these shorts. What? They're so long. Of course I knew that. I like them because, as far as I remember, what does it matter if they're long? You're a long lady. Mom, what are you talking about? They make you look like. At least it didn't look like. Okay, let's prune this one. Black is death, so I probably should prune that one. A dark pink rose. We can listen to this one. One day I waited at the door. This little witch remembering it's okay now. The witch is something. It's really pretty. She lived her, huh? Your hair is so pretty. It's like gold. You're like a supermodel. You know that? She spends so much time. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, what are you crying? I know what the freaking key is. What the? It's not a corpse. A corpse is hamburger meat, obviously. A wig, a shirt, and a creative imposing. The monster's done this bit 1,000,000 times, and it stopped scaring me years ago. Well, good thing I brought gloves. Haha, I sure do love being a witch, gang. I know you're all in my briefcase now, but I suddenly feel like talking really loudly, totally unrelated to any meat sounds that might have just been happening now. My hand closed around something, but this doesn't feel like a key at all. This is... It says... Marisol's descriptions of our more irritable... I'm also positive the previous diagnosis is inaccurate, only partially combined episodes of depression and bipolar disorder. Proper treatment, bipolar is the most important. Bipolar is it... Oh, she's bipolar? Son of a gun, you actually managed to do something unexpected after all these years. After vines creak as they retract from their bathroom, they somehow it sounds more like laughter than anything. If the key isn't here, that means there's only one more room it could be in. God, I hope nobody's expecting me to clean this up. So it sounds like the monster isn't really like a... I don't know what the monster... It's not really trying to kill or hurt anyone, it seems like. I don't know. I have like... Let me get some water. Her room is a bit smaller than what you might expect and surprisingly plain at first glance. A desk, a bed, a closet, 2 small bookshelves. The windows are cracked open, letting in faint melody of raindrops and the scent of warm earth. It mingles nicely with the smell of roses. So it's a single black rose. I cut the rose. Oh shit, a white rose. White roses are emblems of purity, that's why they're so dangerous. Layla told me once that humans have no completely pure emotions. We're strange and jumbled creatures whose feelings are always shifting, being mixed and muddled with others' feelings. That's why we sometimes say terrible things in a moment of anger. In that instant, your heart is tricked into thinking that anger is all that's ever been But even when you hurt someone with your words, you always have the chance to apologize. You can explain yourself and do the best to fix the damage. But a white rose takes your words and makes them pure. It pulls out all your tangled feelings and reasons and warps your statement into a truly pure, untainted emotion. It makes your words turn into blades that strike straight through the heart. It turns them into words that can never, ever be taken back. A statement of pure despair, a statement of true anger, a statement of true hatred. Many people have taken their lives after listening to the words of a white rose. I take the flowers and gently place it on my briefcase. It's a drip in the big mattress, big enough for a body. It's still warm. It's a pink rose. You're being all quiet. Is something wrong? Marisol, what do I have on my face besides my hair, I mean? Why did you come today? Well, you see, when he goes to the movies. Because the monster, it's going to take more than that. You called your Grant Mari. You kept... Marisol, listen. Yes, yes, yes. The monster? No, I'm making it worse. Like, angrier, I mean... So yeah, maybe it's just based off, like, the monster's strength or whatever is based off Marisol's emotions or something. You can ask him, I'm scared. Marisol. I'm literally a witch. Witch in training. Whatever. My point is, if you should be scared of me. You know there's rumors about me and my grandma around town, right? They think we sacrifice cats to the devil and use bone magic. What the hell is bone magic? I wish any magic was half as metal as that sounded. I laughed. So you're saying you should listen to the rumors? Absolutely. I'm super creepy and weird, according to them. I managed to laugh again. You're the furthest thing from creepy. You're so cool and brave. Oh my god, aren't you brave? It's not brave. Nope, sorry. So the flower must have been listening all the times they were, like, having conversations and stuff. You must have a death wish. Yep, very cute death wish. Anger. Hey, your hand's so shut. I don't really like now. Marisol, it's not a big deal. Why do you keep jerking my hands? Tell me it's funny. Saw me. I hate it. I hate being with those arms. I hate myself. Distantly, I'm aware the vines making noise of retreat. They're retracting out of the room. The box has a label on just one word. Alejandra. It's for her? It's a book. It has a long title that I've never heard of before, but I love it already. And there's a card. You really shouldn't be reading this right now. Well, in any case, congratulations, Alex. I know you've been waiting to become a witch your entire life. For what it's worth, I've always considered you the best witch in the world. I'm sorry I couldn't give you this the day it became official. I'm sorry I do so many things worth apologizing for. Alex, thank you so much for being my friend all these years. I clearly can't thank you enough. I really appreciate your friendship. I really love you. Alex, if I haven't told you already, I want you to leave. If you're reading this, you're probably getting ready to come to the attic. Please don't. Please just take my gift and walk out of this house. Don't worry about me. Just focus on being a witch like you always wanted. Alejandra, I've asked so much of you, but I promise this will be the last thing. Knowing you think you're obligated to come rescue me. It's very sweet. But you know you can't save me. Please, Alex, go live your life. Forget about me. Well, I saved the game, so maybe I should just leave. Or should I open the book? Let's leave. Now let's open the book. Let's see where this goes. I flip the front cover of the book open. Something small and silver is lying on the front page. 3 out of 3 keys found. I start working towards the attic. I sprint towards the attic. It takes a moments to work the door open, and I go up the stairs. She's taking so long. Can we really be sure she's okay up there? She'll be fine. Trust me, she's the only person in the house who knows what she's doing. But what about Marisol? How can we be sure that thing hasn't hurt her? I can't believe this happens regularly. How is she being able to survive this long without a monster constantly trying to... Betty, what? Why are you making that face? You do know there's no monster, right? Huh? The attic, as always, is surprisingly clean. Aside from the massive vines creeping across the walls, it could basically be called spotless. Her bed is by the window, as always. Only her head moves to me. Oh. Fuck. You really suck at following directions, Alex. Haha, good to see you too. I was hoping this time you might not come. I don't really know why I expected you today to be any different. Well, we got ourselves a nice little pattern going on, don't we? More like a rut. And I'm not allowed to save... Oh, I am allowed to save my game. The same games, the same goofy lines. I've been pretty sparse with the goofy lines today. Good for you. Something about saving a princess, something about you being a brave knight, etc. And a nice girl like you doing in a place like this. Nice girl, I don't think I've seen one today. So how are you? Dying? Ha, right. Let's get to it. So this is the bathroom. I thought we were kind of past the fake body in the bathtub thing. Hey, don't ask me, the monster did that. Uh-huh. It seemed nostalgic. Since now I know you're the real deal and everything. Sort of a haha, remember this thing? Like and share if you're a 90s kid. 15 magic spells, only 90s kids appreciate. 25 roses you'll be pruned if you were a 90s kid. Only 90s kid remembers you. What? Hey, complain to the monster if you don't like it. Alex, it's a joke. I didn't mean... I think we both know that's bullshit, Mari. All day you've just been trying to push me away, and now you're going to act like that was all some big goof? Well, obviously you weren't listening to me. If you're just going to pretend that everything was A-okay and I didn't see a point in trying to... Sorry, you think you're pretending everything is A-okay? Well, yeah. I don't know if you noticed, Alex, but that's kind of your thing. Fine, let's talk. Why did you keep telling me to leave? You only ever do that while the whole monster act. You never used your real voice. Why are you so suddenly... Marisol, I'm the last person in the world who'd have to explain your own condition to you. If you didn't come up to this, you would have died. Is that what you wanted? I mean, have you been listening to me the past 6 years? Alex, you've been the closest friend I've ever had. You know, basically everything about me. You know I'm not getting any better. But you're not getting any worse? Ah, am I really? Every time I wake up, it feels harder to get out of the bed. I feel less and less. I feel like I can't remember what kind of things I used to like. I feel like I can't remember the last time I was happy. But do you know what the worst part is? I don't have a single reason to feel this way. I have a good life, a nice family. Nothing terrible ever happened to me. But out of nowhere, God, I can't even remember when it started. I just feel like one day my heart stopped beating. One day I woke up and I was a corpse. Alex, I'm so tired, and I don't even know why. It all just feels so empty. I'm so empty, except for the vines and the rose. You know, at night, sometimes when it's really, really quiet, I think I can hear it growing. Sometimes I can hear it making noises, and I'm pretty sure it's laughing. Most of the time, I feel like I'm just pretending to be human. But maybe I really am a monster. A monster, a corpse, and a princess. You're building up quite the resume. Anyways, that takes care of everything. No more vines, no more roses. Are you sure? I think you missed a pretty big one. That joke stopped being funny years ago, you know. Who's joking? I'm not going to kill you, Marisol. Then maybe I'll kill you. Oh? Yeah. Tell you what. If you don't pluck the rose out of my eye, I'll take these vines and crush your throat like a soda can. Come on, don't make it sound so appealing. What? Alex, don't talk to me like that. Well, you're the one talking about strangling me. Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, obviously, I thought we were doing a bit. No, we're not, I'm not, God. Why do you always just go along with everything? I shouldn't be making jokes like this. You should just be okay with me making jokes like this. It's terrible. I'm terrible. You're not terrible, Mari. You're having a bad day. I've been there. I know what it's like. You know what it's like? You know what it's like? God. Alejandra, what the fuck do you know about having a bad day? You're perfect. Marisol, come on. You are so perfect and beautiful and witty and talented, and you're a witch. You're barely just become a witch. You're amazing. You have no idea what it's like being this. Being a burden. Being an ugly, horrible thing. I'm barely even human. I'm a shitty little heap of failures in the shape of a person. If I'm not feeling miserable or feeling sorry for myself, I'm this horrible, irrational bitch making a living hell everyone around me. I know what people say about me. I know what they think they see me. I know my parents hate having to deal with me, and I know I don't even blame them. I hate living like this. I hate myself, and you. You just sit there and won't even let me end this. But you think you know what it's like? Mari! No, shut up! I'm sick of this. And if you're not gonna do it for me, if you won't do it for me, then at least just look the other way. Marisol, look at me. Just stop, okay? Stop acting like you have any idea what I'm going through. That's your... You know, in retrospect, I always found it funny that you never asked why I covered my other eye. I thought you were just trying to be cool. Ha. It's real? It's real. 100% genuine ocular rose cane. Christ alive. We've known each other for years and I never even... Well, I try to keep it under wraps. But you can't be. You're so normal. Ha! Am I? Mara, you were probably too busy ragging on yourself to notice, but I'm not exactly Miss Well-Adjusted myself. But you're normal and happy. You tell jokes. Yeah, as a deflection? You think it's normal to be like, haha, I'm so tired of everything and I want to ultra die? Why do you think I always crack jokes when things go south? It's the only way I know how to handle it. Oh, that reminds me of like fucking Yuri Lowell from Tales of Vesperia a little bit. The way he copes with things, even when things are like really shitty, he just starts like wisecracking and just being a general lovable ass. Anyway. By the way, I really like this game. I guess when I say it like that, it makes sense that you think I always pretend everything's okay. Especially when I was too much of a coward to show you my rose. Sorry. Marisol, you're right about one thing. I don't know what it's like to be you. You got a lot going on. I don't have mood swings like you, and my vines aren't as nearly as bad as yours, but everything you say, we're saying right now about feeling like a burden, about feeling like you couldn't remember what it's like being happy, feeling like you woke up dead one day, it's like you looked into my head and pulled it all out. A girl like you shouldn't want to die, and a girl like you shouldn't feel you're committing crimes by existing. But here we are. Here's the thing, Marisol. You can swear up and down that you want to die, and that you've been asking me to kill you since the day we met, but that doesn't change the fact that you've always left me a way to find you. Do you ever feel like me? Like there's no hope? Or you have no reason to look forward waking up? Yeah. Then how do you... I find reasons. No matter how silly or small. It can be looking forward to mastering a new spell, drinking horacha, or... Marisol, would you ever consider being a witch? What? I'm not... The only thing magical about me is... What, you don't think that counts? Lots of notable witches have ocular roscane. They had told me about them. I think she probably never brought it up with you because it's tough for someone who's not family like us to become official. But I mean, your family isn't anything to sneeze at either. What I'm saying is, it's trying to become a witch isn't exactly a shabby reason to stay alive. In case you haven't noticed, witches are rad. I could do worse things with my time, especially if it's you around this long. You know, the worst I ever felt when I was about 13. Or wise. That was the first time I remember thinking without a shred of doubt I want to die. You know what helped? My grandmother told me that she knew a person with my condition, a pretty girl my age, that she offered to introduce her to me. The day that I knew I wasn't the only person in the world with, or... I can't even describe... Oh, they're just calling it or for short. I can't even describe it. To feel like you're utterly, completely alone and find someone like you, someone like you who's pretty smart and has a way of talking about things that she loves, just makes your blood feel electric. Someone who tells you about something she saw and makes you feel like you were there. Someone who makes you look at the world in a new way. Marisol, kiss me, you and love me. Becoming a certified witch was my long-term goal. But it definitely was the only thing that kept me around for this long. Let's just take this one step at a time. I think becoming a witch would be really good for you, and it might not even be a good way to direct excess negative energy from your flowers. But it wouldn't be an instant solution to everything. I just want you to understand that. You won't be replaced by it with perfect magic, you. You won't stop having bad days. Yeah, I figured. You'll have to fight through them. And of course, I'll be here to help you. So can I ask you to do the same for me? I mean, you've always been that person for me, but it just... Yeah. I always seemed irresponsible to consider you that way without Alex. Ha! Words. I'm just trying to say, can you help me through the bad days too? If it's not, Alex, you honestly thought you'd have to ask? It's the least I can do with all you've done for me. Besides, us lovely corpses have got to stick together, you know? Yeah, I know. Ah, so I really have to be getting rid of these. And I'll tell my grandmother about what we talked about. Maybe she'll even agree to be your sponsor. And call me, you know, if you ever want to vent or anything. Alejandra? Hmm? You can't save me, you know? Even if I become a witch, even if things get better, I'm always going to have this rose. I'll always eventually have days like this today. And I'll always be... And I'll always... And I'm always going to be coming on days like today. You're going to get... You're going to get old walking up those stairs, you know. Yeah. I can't wait. That was actually a lot sweeter than it looked. I can't believe it was so... I guess, like, if I did the bad things and I wasn't paying attention, then I probably would have gotten the bad endings and all this weird shit would have started happening. So, you definitely had to clip that white flower, and you definitely had to avoid the black ones, I feel. And for the yellow ones, you shouldn't have listened to too many of them. Like, 2 out of the 3 that were there, like, you could have listened to. But yeah, this was a really great game. Now I have to retract that Twitter statement that I made that I wasn't going to play this, but holy shit, this was actually a really fun game. I really enjoyed that. Sorry if this was a little bit more serious too, because I was expecting like jump scares and weird shit. I thought they were going to like do some like really scary stuff with like messing with the game or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Alejandra turned out to be a super likable character, and so did Marisol, and yeah. That was actually a lot less tense than I thought it would be. But you did murder a cat in your dialogue, so I have to attribute -5 points to that. So cat murder is not cool. And putting that in games makes me sad. Alright, well, us lovely corpses, if you want to play it again and maybe get the bad endings... I know I won't, because I don't want to look forward to that shit. That's gonna make me sad and shit. That was a happy ending to... it doesn't get better than that, people. Alright. We're calling it a stream. If you wanna check this... Wait, how do I do... I'll end the video. Bye.